don't forget, guys, these girls' faces, they are still missing. We don't want them to go cold. So guys, welcome to Talking News. My name is Debbie. Please hit subscribe and like right now. I don't want you guys to forget to do that. That really helps the channel stay seen, at least. I have a new story for you guys, and my gosh, just every day there's something. So Selena Ann Bradley, only 23 years old, she was pregnant. She went missing in San Antonio, Texas, Friday the 16th. So Selena was an expected mother, a very young mom, and this would have been her third child. And police ended up arresting William James Martinez, 39, for her murder. So let's go over the story. So according to sources that are available right now, Selena Bradley had been missing since Friday the 16th of October. But it isn't for certain that anybody realized she was missing until she was found. And she was actually found in a freezer wrapped in a blue tarp. So how did investigators know that she come up missing, or that she was in a freezer? So according to a few news sources such as Daily Mail, police were likely able to find the body due to several admissions Martinez had made to others. And he had done this several days before she was found, especially since she was making Facebook posts. And she did that Saturday the 17th of October. Seems that Martinez was posting for Bradley, pretending to be her and that she was fine. So according to KTXS, Martinez placed a call to a friend by the name of Tony Chablis and relayed that he had done something terrible and that there was a body in a freezer. So Martinez also called Stephanie Rios, the mother of the 4-year-old daughter of his, and confessed to the murder of Bradley. So investigators caught wind of what was happening, and they went looking for Martinez, and they find him at a car wash in Abilene, Texas on Monday night. So around October 19th, I think. And when they tried to perform a traffic stop, Martinez led the cops on a high-speed chase. This chase ended up causing Martinez to wreck his car, and he crashed his car into a field in Hamlin and escaped without being apprehended. What's interesting is that around October 20th, I think it's on a Tuesday, the police received a tip about a man limping down the street who proved to be the Martinez that had escaped that car crash. So it's still not clear when Selena was killed. But her mother thinks, since Martinez posted on Facebook Saturday, posing as her daughter, maybe there's a possibility that it happened that Friday. Now, Martinez spoke to Selena's mother on the phone, and he denied doing anything to Selena. The cause of death is pending, and the autopsy is underway. So there's a few sources that say that Selena had a few bruises on her neck and face, so that's consistent with being struck or assaulted. So what's interesting is when Martinez contacts his friend, he admits that he did something terrible, but he realizes that he would go to prison for life. Interestingly, he ran from police, yet he tells his friend exactly where the body is. So it looks like he's kind of struggling doing the right thing. But definitely this looks like it's a possibility that this is another domestic violence case. Very sad. Far too many of these cases, they're just popping up every week, guys. There's a lot of them that don't even go reported. So just imagine, I mean, these numbers are just incredibly high. So the Tom Green County Sheriff's Office and the San Angelo Police Department are the ones that found Selena in the freezer, which was located in the kitchen. What I was kind of concerned about is we don't hear the mention of these children that she has. Who are they with during this time? So that's a little bit concerning. So according to the U.S. Sun, this guy, Martinez, he actually lived at the home where the body was found, and the court record said that he told a close friend that he did something terrible. So according to the charges this man is charged with, it can pretty much give you an idea what would really happen. So the alleged killer faces charges for child sexual assault, and tampering with evidence. His bond is set at more than $1 million, thank God. So now we just await, updated information on this case. Wait for the autopsy information to come in. And from there, I guess we'll figure out what happened. Just another sad case. So next, a few news stations are actually covering another missing persons case. I think Fox 5 is covering one of a 21-year-old woman who was reported missing Tuesday, October 20th in San Diego. Her name is Megan Hosfield. She's just 21, guys. So she was last seen around 7:45 p.m. on Monday with her broken down vehicle. She was located at 6565 Balboa Avenue, east of Genesee Avenue, according to the San Diego Police Department. This is another scary scenario. There's not a whole lot of information on Megan, but they do give a description of what she looks like. So Megan is Hispanic. She's 5'4", 147 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. She was wearing a gray and black tie-dye shirt with blue jeans. So if you have any information on Megan, or you might have seen something, it don't matter how big or small, please contact Crime Stoppers or the police. So 47-year-old Ann Fitzmans heads to a party October 4th. She is a mother and she's living in Nelson County, North Dakota. At least this is where it's happening. And she heads to a friend's house in rural Petersburg. So Ann is last seen around 1:30 a.m. on that day. And she disappears after that. According to authorities, they say that there's some conflicting reports about why she left. So what's interesting is Mr. Neese, who is Ann's brother, said that Ann was having an affair with a man that's only identified as Brad. And that Brad was the one that actually drove Ann in her truck home on the night of that party. Family members of Ann are actually sharing pictures of that vehicle. So take a close look if you're especially in that area. So another story is that she actually walked away. And according to witnesses, it was a very windy weather and it was 29 degrees. Witnesses also say that she was drinking and possibly using drugs that night. And so you can understand why police are concerned with these very contradicting shares of whatever happened to Ann that night. Because Ann lived 26 miles away from that party. She lived in Inkster. Her brother says, quote, "There's no way 26 miles is a marathon," end quote. Ann's brother's really having trouble dealing with the fact of whatever happened to his sister that night. He's really just devastated by this news, and he's trying his best to try to bring light to the case and hopefully justice. He says, quote, "It's absolutely daunting. There's so much out there," end quote. He's referring to the rural area and the possible 26 miles of searching space. Now, according to the Nelson County Sheriff's Department, there have been 2 potential sightings. One on the afternoon she disappeared at a gas station in the town of Michigan on Highway 2, and another sighting just 2 days later south of Kendu. According to Sheriff Keith Olson, he says, quote, "She has a habit of going away for weeks at a time, but she usually contacts someone," end quote. But Ann's brother says now that it's been, more than a week, he can only suspect something evil has happened. Neese describes his sister as a very loving person, but admits that she has battled drug addiction for years. This is adding to the mystery that there was a discovery that Anne had several cell phones, including a burner phone. And the, question marks continue to grow because they also say that she recently cheated on her husband of nearly 30 years. And the new boyfriend ended up with that truck that she was driving the night of her disappearance. So that would be Brad. Of course, they're thinking that this has to do with a love triangle and maybe drugs. And if so, he suspects that's going to be about money. Anne's brother says it just doesn't look good. So the most interesting fact, and it pretty much says what happened in my opinion. Anne disappears, and the last person to be seen is her new boyfriend, and he's driving her truck around. And that's pretty odd. Even stranger, because Anne recently added a friend's name to the title. They're not able to take a look at this vehicle. Anne's brother says that he and his family are trying to remain optimistic and that his little sister would be found alive. But each day that goes by, it gets harder and harder. He says, quote, "I'm going to find her. That I know. I'm going to find her whether it's one day or 100 days or 1,000 days or the last day I breathe. I just don't know. It's super scary. Anne, where are you?" End quote. Anne's brother is in tears when he makes this statement, and it's awful devastating because no matter what you see this person as or what they do in their life, no one deserves to be murdered, killed, hurt in any way. I have a feeling in this case a lot more people know a lot more, but they're probably afraid to come forward. And I want to say that if you're watching this video, don't be afraid, because you can give tips anonymously. You can take and write a note, dress in a hoodie or mask, drop it off on the police steps, and leave. Occasionally you can find a public phone. You can use that as a way to get information out, and of course a burner phone. But guys, if you know something, do the right thing. So Anne's brother has temporarily left his job in the Twin Cities to launch a non-stop search for his sister Anne, and he's offering a $5,000 reward for a tip that will lead to his sister, or at least answers. And so a quick update. What we're hearing is that this case is considered or classified a missing persons until there's a change or something else has come up. So police were able to seize Anne's truck eventually, and I think the truth of why they couldn't get the truck earlier is because they couldn't locate the truck. Information available is condescending, but police did say they didn't leave that farm empty-handed after all. So they seized the truck, and this is the same truck that her boyfriend Brad reportedly drove the night she disappeared. So he drove it home. But curious, we haven't heard much about the husband. So again, they did seize the truck, and the sheriff said that police initially could not get their hands on the truck because there are multiple names on the title, including the owner of the farmstead. And I'm curious to know if they ever compared the handwriting. But investigators say once they left that farm, they continued to be stumped just as they arrived. And they say that they plan to come up with a new plan. So it sounds like this, police department and investigators, they're determined to find answers for Anne. Thank God. I love determined people. So this is going to be great for Anne's brother, hopefully. At least he'll get the answers he deserves. So here's a few stories that I wanted to put out. There are a few missing faces that need our attention. Please, guys, share their face, share their story. If you're a YouTuber, maybe take time to do a little bit on background that I couldn't get on these guys. Share it. Hopefully it helps. So, love you guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to push like right now. Helps us out, guys. See you soon.